financial advisor. Dropping beats that'll make you go higher. I got it 808s with metal undertones. Gonna school you about crypto, make you take loans. Stacking stacks, yeah, that's the goal. Investing in crypto, watch it all unfold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and more. I'm diversifying portfolios like never before. Cryptocurrency got the game in a frenzy. Financial literacy, that's the key to plenty. I'm spitting knowledge, making moves that count. Turning straight stacks into millions, no doubt.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again Sunday, June 23rd of the year 2024 of our Lord, with another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. We're gonna have a good conversation today. I'm really excited, just getting back in from off the road. Had a little road trip this weekend. We are walking around. I'm no longer having to peg leg everywhere, which is cool. Peg leg optional at this point. But we're making some strides, recovering well, doing good. But we're going to get into it. We're going to jump in. But first and foremost, let's give a shout out to the sponsor of the show, Delta Investment Tracker app. Definitely a tool that we use regularly throughout the day. That is what I'm looking at to keep tabs on what's going on in these crypto markets with their live updates, behind the scene market analysis. The newsreel is super useful in regards to tokens and positions that you are currently holding. It tracks both your crypto and traditional financial portfolios. Can't say enough good stuff about it. We love it. There's a link down in the description to let them know that you found it here. I don't get anything out of it. There's nothing special attached to it. It just lets them know that you found them by way of old Reckless Ray Dinero and the platform. Secondly, we got to give a shout out to the Bag Chasers and the family over at Circa 84. If you are in either of those Discord groups, of which there are links down in the description for, you get this information the day of, as we make it, after it's made, what have you. Everybody else, you'll be watching this Wednesday as a premiere. I may or may not be in the chat, but if you leave a comment, I do check my comments. I do respond to all comments. If this is your first time here visiting, I'd like to welcome you to the Wolf Pack. I would like to urge you to like, share, and subscribe. Actually, I'd like to urge you to like the video or hate the video, dislike the video. Give me some feedback. I take all metrics. It's fine. Not everybody is geared for this content. I am not for everyone. If you enjoy the content and you're seeing value and learning things and, hopefully picking up some tidbits over here at Crypto Portfolio Updates to help you in your journey into crypto, help you understand the trials and tribulations of being in crypto, enjoying tracking me and my ascent through this, because this is obviously an opportunity to document the process. What is the process? We are looking at obviously getting to $1 million in net worth. That is majority my investments, very minimally my house. So I'm thinking property value, real estate being involved in that, being probably less than 5%, 10% maybe. But specifically this playlist, this show in general, is specifically tracking the crypto portfolio, which will probably be making up the lion's share of that because of the growth metrics on it. And the moves, my thought process behind it, and how we build things out over here. So we definitely have plenty of room over here in the Wolfpack for the content that we do. We're not trying to get rich by ourselves. And we're tracking the journey of somebody who's not preaching to you from the mountaintop, but showing you the steps that I am taking while being in the mud, in the murk with you, getting it out the mud. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the fun part and get into our conversation here shortly thereafter. Let's, you know what? I see how this is going. Okay, we'll bring it back up to the screen. We got to get me down small on the screen so you guys can see. We're going to start off with our updated metrics that we're looking at. The Bitcoin dominance is at 51.5%. All the energy is going into Bitcoin. No questions about it. It's what it is. It's Bitcoin season still. We still haven't officially tipped off the bull run. We are in the bull run, but it's still early bull run. I understand that we hit a new all-time high before the halving, and a lot of people are looking at that as though it is the be-all, end-all, and it's over. We're all done now. Bitcoin can go back to doing what Bitcoin go do, and everybody else just sit back and pack it up, take your profits, which is fine. If that's the narrative that you are running, I don't necessarily think that is the correct narrative, and time will tell. But it seems like there is a lot of energy in Bitcoin, obviously, with a 51.5% dominance ratio. Speaks for itself. Ethereum is at 17.3%, which I have long since stopped considering Ethereum an altcoin. In a lot of cases, it performs and has at many times, even during the bear market, been in positions to where it was on parity with Bitcoin, around the same area as Bitcoin, more volatile than Bitcoin, and even up to outperforming Bitcoin. So ETH taking up the 17.3% dominance is not surprising. A lot of energy going into that. We're projecting out the ETF. People are, speculating on what they think those inflows are going to look like. I think it's going to be positive for the space. There doesn't just have to be one ETF. There doesn't just have to be two ETFs. But these two specifically, Bitcoin definitely made sense. We've been advocating for it for the better part of a decade. I've been in the space a decade plus, very actively, making money, losing money, making decisions, getting washed out because of those decisions. But everything that we're tracking on here are things that are happening with my personal money, because that's what we do. We can only talk about our situation. A lot of people out here speculate, hypothesize, and sell you the dream, and nobody knows what they're really doing, the moves that they're making. And that's all we talk about over here, are the moves that I am making, because this is not financial advice. This is just a guy on the internet documenting his journey in this crypto ocean. Ethereum gas is at 2 Gwei. Oh my goodness. If you want to make moves on Ethereum, now would be the time. Super cheap transaction fees on Ethereum. I mean, this is going to be low. It's going to be like a couple of bucks, maybe some change. It might be less than $1. Go figure. Or around there, under $5. Wow. What a day to be alive. I'm definitely going to be looking into making some moves on the Ethereum blockchain. Next, we've got our top 3 trending coins as of this recording. Number 1, we've got Ton Coin, Telegram's token. Number 2, we have Not Coin. Number 3, we have ZK Sync. Moving on to the next. Let me also get that open. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, hold on a second. We're going to have to. Hold up a second. We're going to have to go back. Okay, there we go. All right, we got to do this real quick. Let's gotta re-log into our CoinGecko account. Every once in a while they make you re-authenticate, which I have no complaints about. I'd rather them do that then, oh, have to redo this every time. Perfect. Okay, cool. So, okay, we got that showing. Let's do this. Oof, goodness, it's getting worse. Okay, so now that we're here, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the top gainers and losers. These are top 5 gainers and losers over the last 24 hours. Oh boy, there are some nostalgia tokens on this list. We're gonna jump in. This is a pretty sideways down market. We're seeing some ugly moves down. We've seen some definite jarring moves down, and we're now in a space to where we are moving sideways but moving down. People are selling out of the market, hopefully for a profit. I hope you're not running away with a loss this early on a bull run cycle, but I understand why people are consistently taking profits. I understand why people who are not understanding of the market or how things move in this space are selling out of their positions because they want to bring max pain before the legitimate bull run takes off. It's just what it is. It happens every year. This isn't the first time this has happened. This isn't the last time this is going to happen. It gets to a point to where everybody just wants to give up, myself included. You're just really drained by the entire experience. Like, maybe I should just close out all my positions and just consolidate down into the longs. Maybe I should put them into other vehicles that maybe in the short term are going to perform well or are perceived to perform better. There's plenty more exciting things. There's, the traditional finance market has some stuff popping off, NVIDIA, and, like things that are outside of the thesis. Now, I've made in plays in my traditional portfolio. I have made some plays also on some things and move some things around to catch a couple of waves to get myself in position, and that's been good. It's worked out. There's some stuff that's in my long term where I'm like, I'm going to buy this and pretty much hold it forever, and more than likely be using the margin off the growth of it to make some additional moves. But that aside, there's not really too much of anything that I am looking at from a perspective of I need to, how do I put that? I need to really jump on board and like just get this, because like at this point there's no point in chasing alpha for me. But let's jump into this and get into these top 5 gainers and losers. At number 1, we have at rank 471 Huobi token HT with a gain of 114.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have Gleek coin, GLEEC, at rank 951 with a gain of 59.1% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 690 PacMoon, PAC, with a gain of 32.6% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 425 Daddy Tate, DADDY, with a gain of 34% in the last 24 hours. At number 5, we have Pluton at a rank of 875 in the last, and a gain of 25.9% in the last 24 hours. And that is going to round out the top 5 gainers list. This is pretty interesting. We got the Daddy Tate. I mean, obviously, the meme coin narrative is still running strong. Those desperation plays, these new entrants into the market that are trying to get rich tomorrow, they're going to pump these bags. It's just what it is. It's what it is. Over onto the top losers list, which these look like healthy retracements, nothing extremely terrible. A lot of dust, a lot of low cap coins making moves, which is gonna do what it do. At number 1, we have at rank 946 Ryujin RYU with a loss of 61.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 552 Amaterasu Omikami, OMIKAMI, with a loss of 50% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have Billion Dollar Cat, BILLY, at rank 778 with a loss of 30.8% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 456, we have Bakery Swap, BAKE, with a loss of 24.9% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at number 5, we have Axon Dial Governance Token, AXGT, at rank 864, with a loss of 21.9% in the last 24 hours. And that's going to round out our list. We got some stuff moving sideways. I always do my shopping off of the top losers list, generally speaking, especially when I'm looking at the way that these coins are floating. Yeah, it's just kind of what it is. Now we're going to jump into the portfolio. Now, let's see here. Where are we at? We're at 5.1%, 2.1% loss per day. Okay. So moving over to the portfolio, this is a good episode because full transparency, we are down. We're down. Overall portfolio is down 5.1%. Crypto is taking a beating. Full transparency, the portfolio is down 5.1% overall. On the day, we're down 2.1%. Just getting gut punch followed by another gut punch. These are the times when your resolve and your belief in your narrative carry you through. This is the discipline part. This is the time where you buy extra. This is the time that you go shopping. This is the time that you locate your lowest performers and decide whether you want to double down on your thesis on these coins for the retracement. Because as we know, we were previously up 30-something% and getting into position. So being down 5%, we have taken a hit in this portfolio. We are not doing well. We are not beating the S&P 500. We are not competing with Wall Street Trapper at this point. We are in the dread zone. This is the part that people don't like. This is kind of my favorite part personally, though, because then I just go in here, I look at the things that I'm really believing in for the bull run, and I see if I can get some sales to drag those initial price figures down. This is where you make those deep digs to bring your price average down. And we are going to be making a couple of those moves because the market is so brutalized right now. But you guys don't care about that. Let's get into the top 10. What do the top 10 positions look like and how have they moved over this time? Obviously, we are leaving out USDC and we are leaving out our staked Ethereum position as well, because those serve no purpose because they're not active positions. One is in cold storage for the retirement fund, and the other one is part of liquidity pooling positions and is not a coin in and of itself that really matters because I don't sit in dollars. So number 1, we have Sol, SOL. Number 2, we have Ethereum, ETH. Number 3, we have Injective, INJ. Number 4, we have Thorwallet DEX, TGT. Number 5, we have Osmosis, OSMO. Number 6, we have Camelot Token, GRAIL. Number 7, we have Wrapped Bitcoin, WBTC. Number 8, we have Celestia, TIA. Number 9, we have Arbitrum, ARB, and pulling up our last but not least position, number 10, we have Radium, RAY. We've got some shopping to do. These positions are just ugly. Everything's red. And obviously this is only a percentage of the portfolio, but everything is sitting looking ugly right now. And this is when we make our purchases. This is when we get into even better positions, better buy-ins, especially with our dollar cost averaging positions. It's all there is to it. I normally at this point will isolate through here. I know Osmosis is doing horrible right now. TIA also looking in a staunch buy. I am over position on ARB. We are waiting for unlocks to be able to move out of some of those positions. But Superverse looking tasty. Like that's back around the entry point for me. So we might be getting some more of that. Akash, AKT, looking real tasty. Might be getting in on that. That's another one. Ooh, geez, I didn't even look at that. You know, even Synapse is looking pretty good, but the position I was using that for is no longer valid or relevant. IMX, another one, looking really good. My gamma strategies, the gamma position, since that's sitting on Ethereum and fees are low right now, that's looking good. Thorchain, another one, easy buy for me. And yeah, you know, we're just kind of working along here, looking at what we got and what we can do. Yeah. So we're gonna move on and have our little conversation real quick before we jump back into the last bit of the show that we got for you. So what we're gonna do is get that out of the way. Get it out of the way. We're gonna talk about why Bitcoin matters. And I understand a lot of people come into this space. I've done videos on things I wish I knew, and when I was getting into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and obviously on my crypto channel, I've got to consistently go back and reiterate one of the tenets, and that is Bitcoin is daddy. What Bitcoin does, the rest of the market does. When Bitcoin goes down, the rest of the market gets destroyed, basically. Ethereum less so now because it's kind of established itself as its own thing, but it still goes down, just not as much as the rest of the market does. But when Ethereum goes down, also affects the altcoin market, which is every other coin. And people come into the space and they don't see the relevance of Bitcoin, or they think they keep people in the lexicon of the influencer community keep referring to it as like the boomer of crypto. And it may be right, but no government is stockpiling any altcoin, period. No one's stockpiling it. No pension fund is getting any other altcoin. Now, could they in the future? Absolutely. But from a government perspective and what is being posited to replace fiat currency or as an alternative to a poorly run financial policy from a country, no government, no state is stockpiling anything but Bitcoin. When we talk about the relevance of it and the reason that I don't believe in selling it, my philosophy, I have adopted a Bitcoin standard for my personal financial situation as an isolated individual because of what states and countries are doing. Because that's going to be the long-term play. That's going to be the long-term hedge. That's the bet against the dollar. Are we going out and figuring out ways to increase our cash flow into the ecosystem? Absolutely. But we are backstopping every step of the way with Bitcoin. And I know this year I'm in an Ethereum buying cycle. Everything that we're doing over this bull run is to get us as close as possible to our goal of 32 Ethereum. With that said, Bitcoin is still, I got my position in Bitcoin solidified first. We are doing the accelerated savings in Bitcoin for a reason. And it's not necessarily, it's going to outperform any other market that I could be sitting in. Yes. But I'm not chasing the alpha that I could get in crypto because there's going to be plenty of altcoins and Ethereum also outperforming Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is old faithful. It is the gold standard. It is the standard of accelerated savings for me over long periods of time. And I'm talking like, 12 months or more, something like that before you're going to touch it. I would rather have Bitcoin than parking it in a CD. I would rather have the Bitcoin appreciation as opposed to parking it in a high interest savings. Am I going to face volatility over that time period? Absolutely. Am I going to also potentially have that go down? Absolutely. Am I willing to sit and wait until it is in an advantageous position for me? Absolutely. Am I risking the principal? And that's another good question that I got. And they were like, well, if it goes down, like, what about your principal position? And it's like, okay, so with it, the way that where we're sitting right now in the home savings, I am up 60% in that portfolio. The main portfolio, like me tracking my buys and what I've got in those individual purchases of just grabbing Bitcoin up, I'm up 60%. That's outperforming my portfolio that's producing income in the altcoins right now. Now, once we hit the bull run, once we hit altcoin season, those numbers will change, which is the reason we have that portfolio, is to accumulate as much of the more expensive position as possible, which in this case is Ethereum. We use those gains, we use that income to get ourselves a little bit of Ethereum as we're navigating through this. That said, just looking at what dollar cost averaging Bitcoin has done, am I worried about losing the principal? No, because at worst case scenario for me at this point is I walk out when I need this, and it's just sitting basically at what it was, which it would have done in the S&P 500, which it would have done sitting in a bank account. So I'm going to, at minimum, be in the same ballpark of, well, you could have done this. And it's like, well, yeah, but if I would have wanted to tap into this earlier, I could have done that too. And so that's the way that I look at it when I look at what I've made, and, you know, the portfolio in and of itself, that pool of money is sitting in here and it's up $2,000. That's $2,000 that I didn't have to go out and hunt for. That's $2,000 I didn't have to do anything to get. It just sat there and went up in value. Like, that's the proposition of Bitcoin. If it sits long enough, it just goes up in value and your buying power increases. We haven't seen 60% inflation in the time that we've been setting money aside for the housing upgrades or next property purchase, the opportunity fund, which now that I'm looking at it, that opportunity fund will likely, as after we get our portfolio set up the way that it needs to be, is going to be very much in part acquired in Bitcoin, because the buying power just keeps going up, which expands the opportunity. So the infrastructure play, and the reason that I say that Bitcoin matters, is because it does. It is the future. As much exciting stuff is going on, XRP doing the stuff that they're doing in the traditional finance space, awesome. It's not giving you the same opportunity that Bitcoin is. Countries are not stockpiling XRP themselves. Like, are they utilizing it? Absolutely. Is it great for the ecosystem? Absolutely. Is it good for crypto? Absolutely. But people conflate the tools. Like, Bitcoin is future wealth. The volatility and the risk on Bitcoin is very minimal considering every other option. Now, the reward is also less than what you would get from an XRP should it perform and get the stuff done that it needs to do to get into the space that it needs to be. Or even an Ethereum, which is my second option. I look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is gold. I look at it as property. And Ethereum, they're comparing it to oil, which you could say that I look at it as the next iteration of the internet, and it's a part of the internet that you could actually own. I can't go own a piece of the internet. I can't go get transaction fees for everybody just being on the internet. I can go own a piece of Ethereum. So I look at that as an internet ecosystem that you can own a piece of. I would like to own some of the internet. It also offers an income opportunity. I would like to have something that'll, not only is it growing in wealth over time, it is also increasing itself over time and producing its own income. Like, those are things that are great, in my opinion. So as I look at these tools, because am I on altcoins? Absolutely. Do I have altcoins that I'm going to be holding on to long term? Absolutely. but that doesn't discredit or disregard putting some funding into Bitcoin. Like I don't see this as an either or. Like it's putting together a solid portfolio and then having Bitcoin therein. And the reason being is companies, jurisdictions, states, countries are adopting a Bitcoin standard. There's not an Ethereum standard. There's not an XRP standard. There is a Bitcoin standard. And it's understanding the difference and the utilization of it. I do not go sell off Bitcoin to buy coffee. Like I don't see it in that light because it has a standard. The same way I don't go sell a piece of my home to buy coffee. It is property. It is property that goes up in value. Bitcoin goes up more in value than my property has, and my property's gone up really well. I've done really good on this property. But it's understanding the use of the tool, and I think a lot of people get into Bitcoin, and everybody who comes into the crypto space, in my opinion, comes in with the wrong idea. They're coming in from a place of desperation. They're coming in from a place of like, oh, I'm swinging for the fences. I'm trying to get rich tomorrow. And the majority of them, I know no one personally who's done it. Period. I mean, the gurus on the internet that we don't see any of their receipts, they don't tell you how their portfolio is doing. You don't know their positions. You don't know what they're actually investing in. They're not documenting the journey. They're just giving their opinions on things and telling you what you should be doing, apparently. Apparently, all of them have made it, even though a lot of their revenue comes from their viral videos and the massive followings that they generate here on YouTube. But we don't talk about that because it just makes us feel good. They get to give you the flashy thumbnail, tell you the sky's falling, tell you it's all over, tell you when it's not all over, tell you what you should be buying. They also, I mean, a good portion of them, the decent ones anyways, tell you to do your own research, as I always say. But they don't understand the importance of Bitcoin. Everything's going to be the new Bitcoin. Well, I'll believe that when we start seeing some money flow into them, some real legitimate money. When I see a country start stocking up on pick your favorite altcoin, then we can have that conversation. Then when we see like 3 or 4 countries start shifting to that standard, when we get some information on those coins being a monetary standard, a fix for monetary issues, then we can talk about that. Then we can compare them. But like Bitcoin has its use. It's clearly defined. We don't need to put anything on it. It's cool that there's some stuff. They got some memes on it. They have marketplaces on it now. Cool. But at the rate that things are going, I'm not banking on that. I'm not, you just have to look at stuff for what it is, and everything doesn't have to be everything. So that's my 2 cents. We're going to jump into the last segment, which is going to be the news. Jumping into the news. So this is the Crypto Roundup brought to you by Delta, powered by eToro. Delta is the sponsor of the show and platform. We can't appreciate them enough. And I really love it that they release these weekly updates so that we can just give my 2 cents on the too long didn't read version of these articles. It will be posted in the video down in the news and resource section so that you guys can go dive deeper should you want to. For me, it's just giving a quick 2 cents, keep you guys abreast to what's gone on from the week of June 10th through the 16th of the year of our Lord 2024. And we are going so the major developments for this week is the launch date of spot ETFs moves up to July 2nd. Supposedly this could be interesting. This could be big. This could be some stuff around the corner. This could be why one of the many reasons, because it seems like right up to these launches, there's a huge drive down in price. Almost as though they're making it so these ETFs can get in at the best price possible when they exact the most pain on the markets to get the most people to capitulate and then run back in as the price jumps back up. Schwab introduces Sushi Labs, a multi-token ecosystem. Something interesting. Schwab is a stalwart in the DeFi space. They've been around for a long time. I'm sure that Sushi Labs is going to be very interesting. You guys might want to go check it out. As always, do your own research. Arbitrum Gaming grant proposal passes. Now, this could be interesting as well. Honestly, I think the best gaming chain possible would be the Cosmos ecosystem. Specifically, Osmosis, they have gas-free transactions, and it's fast. But a lot of the ecosystem in the Cosmos ecosystem, a lot of those ecosystems would be perfect for gaming. That is a good chain for gaming. L2s could be a good chain for gaming. It's super low fees, but for gaming, you almost need free. You need a chain that has zero transaction fees or gasless transaction fees to run the game. Like, nobody wants to continue to dump money in to play the game. Like, it's just wild. Bitcoin ETF products see net outflows approximating to $600 million. Ooh. A little bit of outflows, obviously, when they wrench to get max pain. It's going to come from both those in the ecosystem and those who are trading the paper asset. It's to be expected. Not everybody's built for this level of volatility. Even though, from what I've seen, it is not exactly mirrored over in the traditional finance space. Like, it's just people over there just aren't built for moves, period. Like, y'all get mad about like 3% drops and stuff. It's crazy to me. SEC's head of crypto assets and cyber unit leaves after 9 years. Coincidentally, after they've given up their long existing court cases. They lost against Ripple. They've given up on Ethereum. It is now considered a commodity, which is a no pun intended, a rippling effect for most altcoins built that have the same qualifications as Ethereum, which is a lot of them. Regardless of what you believe about utility, the SEC just needlessly and ceaselessly and unending, unyielding, never take an L mentality of consistently filing lawsuits, investigations, and basically just putting out these bad PR campaigns, considering they never turn up anything against cryptocurrency firms, is a detriment to both the American economy and our ecosystem, because it is putting us in a position to where we are behind, which isn't good for the country, the people, or anyone. Sol Foundation removes operators from its delegation program following sandwich attack involvement. Oh, what? Sol's always in the midst of some drama. Still one of my best performing, still my number one asset, but at least they're cleaning up the issue. So maybe we'll see less downtime and they can keep their chain on. MicroStrategy to buy yet more BTC announces private offering plan of $500 million. Makes you wonder, while you're selling, and all these people who think they know what they're doing with their trades, you're selling, MicroStrategies is leveraging more debt to buy. BlackRock is buying. States are buying. Countries are buying. And you're selling. I mean, I guess if you know something that they don't know, to go get into dollars or go buy things that are losing value, we'll leave it. We'll leave it there. That's going to sum it up. Bitcoin is important. If you are not educated, I suggest you go back in these videos and get yourself educated. I put out so much content. You get a weekly update on my portfolio. I can't stress it enough. I mean, I've screamed it from the rooftops. Everybody should be having a little nest egg for your future fund. You should probably be considering having some Bitcoin allocated into your portfolios. I mean, there's got to be something that these states, governments, countries, companies know that the rest of you might not know in regards to their capitulation, their bending of the knee on Bitcoin. All these banks that are telling you Bitcoin's terrible, and the next thing you know, you find out 5 years later that while they were telling you not to buy Bitcoin, they're buying Bitcoin. They might know something that you don't know. They might be onto something. Maybe Bitcoin's not going away. I mean, for as much as people try to say it's magic internet money, it's magic internet money that's found its way into the real world. The world's changing rapidly, and it seems like if you're not capable of evolving, you're just going to be a peasant forever. So in closing, I'm going to say our favorite crypto bro shutdown, which is have fun staying poor. This is your boy, Reckless Ray De Niro, and until the next time, next week, I'm out. Peace.
Money moves, gotta hustle, gotta grind. In this game, no room for the blind. Crypto's the wave, the key to the grind. Transfer that wealth, it's time to climb. Blockchain buzzing, time to make a move. Invest in the future, can't afford to lose. Learn the game, gotta play it right. On the right side, we take it flight. Punch the clock, working hard day and night. Gotta stay focused, keep that mind tight. Crypto, wealth transfer, we want it all. Rise to the top, never hit a wall.